So this is kind of a weird chapter, but if you guys, I guess, like, those, like, daughter, like, it's kind of just an overhauled ex-daughter listener type thing. But I do have an important announcement. I will be streaming this weekend on the, I think, 21st or the 22nd. I'll say which episode I'm streaming in and what time. It'll be up on screen at what time and blah, 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 all that. But I'll be streaming for my 1K special because, yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. The whole village was destroyed in a matter of minutes. The power of All for One was immense, leaving nothing to remain of the rural area. This rather small village was most often looked over and seen as nothing more than an old area of Japan. However, the people of this village were no ordinary people. Each was born with a highly dangerous quirk. He hoped to talk to them and bring them on his side, but to his surprise, the people used their quirks for good, some pro-heroes even coming from this village. He wouldn't risk them jeopardizing his plans, so he destroyed all of them. Not long after the village was practically wiped from existence, All for One heard the cries of a child. He gently landed on the rubble of a few houses. He approached the sound of the crying child. Your mother had clearly been killed, but protected you until the very last minute. All for One picked you up. You were swaddled in a blanket. Seemingly, you were maybe a few months old. You were young enough not to remember this moment, and hadn't even developed a quirk yet. This was a precious opportunity for him to still reshape one of these citizens into deadly villains. That was if you even had a quirk. If you didn't, he could probably easily dispose of you. He picked you up off the ground and rocked you a bit. It seemed to calm you down, and you even began giggling at something. A warm, fuzzy feeling spread through him, causing him to smile gently at you, although you couldn't see it, with the mask and all. Yin, that's a good name for you. What do you think? He asked. Da, you replied, using the only words you could speak. It sounded positive to him. Yin, it is then, he said, the warm feeling not leaving him. Years had passed. You grew up under the care of All for One. With some help from Shigaraki and Kurigiri, once the league began forming, they all also began taking care of you as well. Hello, Yin. Do you want to play with me? Toga giggled, sitting down in front of you on the floor. With knives? You asked. Why wouldn't there be knives? She smiled maniacally. Yay! You cheered, standing up. Dobby stopped watching you two and turned to Kirigiri. What's the point of Mr. Handyjob looking over that anyway? It's not his kid, right? Dobby pointed towards you and Tomura. Tomura just seemed annoyed as you quote-unquote stabbed him with the rubber knife Toga was forced to give you if you played knives. Kirigiri sighed. Yin is the boss's adopted daughter. Dobby continued looking, interested in more than that. She came from a line of people with powerful quirks. He's waiting until her quirk develops to decide if he wants to keep her after that. We're currently supposed to be watching her for any signs of her having a quirk. So, if he just doesn't like her quirk, he's going to kill her. Dobby narrowed his eyes at you. Yes, at least over the years he's seen to gain a connection of some kind towards her. Kirigiri said. Dobby, I'm going to stab you next, you said, running towards the man. Get him, Yin. Toga cheered you as you ran towards Dobby. He easily picked you up by the back of your shirt, lifting you up from his level as he stood up. You kicked and squirmed to get out of his grip. Let me go. Make me. It's not like you can. You don't even have a quirk, Dobby taunted. As he said that, you suddenly felt an energy inside. You didn't know what it was, but you started feeling it more recently. It was always there, but began more present when you were mad or at someone or something. You glared at Dobby, trying to focus on the energy onto him. Let me go. You yelled one more time, releasing the energy onto Dobby. Dobby Dobby let go of you as a strong force pushed him. He practically flew back into the bar, feeling any glasses break under him. The other members there at the time looked at you, shocked. Did I do something wrong? You asked, confused by the stares. Ironic. Her quirk manifested just talking about her. I'm sure the boss will be pleased with this, Kirigiri thought, stepping out from the bar to pick you up. Kirigiri told me you threw one of the members into the bar today, your quote-unquote father said, as the two of you went home after he picked you up from the hideout. Occasionally you would stay with him whenever it wasn't too dangerous. Mm-hmm. You nodded happily. He picked you up, holding you, so you were face to face, even though you couldn't exactly talk eye to eye due to the lack of eyeballs. This was the closest he could get to you. Do you know how you did it? He asked. You nodded happily. I felt energy, and then I used it on Dobby, and he flew. He flew? He asked, smirking a bit. Yeah, over the bar, you said, making hand gestures. Even though he couldn't see, he had almost pictured everything that you did. He sent you back down as you both continued walking. I'm very proud of you, Yin. You have an amazing quirk. He ruffled your hair, making you smile. If only you knew how much this really meant. I do. Is it just as amazing as yours, Daddy? You said, reaching up to hold his hand. Almost. But if you work hard to practice with it, it will be just as great as mine, All for One said. I'll practice hard so I can do that, he said, determined. I'm sure you will, he added, quickly, but of course, continuing to walk your guys' way home.